Welcome back, my dog means, to the WTF News, the gaming version. Yes, the game version. And today we're gonna be talking about ninten. And you can see the title of the video. I got three different versions. I got video games, I got anime, and I got anime and video games for both combined. Wait, is it? No, it's mostly video games. Even though literally people play video. You know what? Never mind. I'm just putting video games on this one. Either way, yes. Before I continue, I'm gonna just let you guys know I am not gonna be. I gotta be very, very careful of how I talk about this certain company, because at this point I have no idea what I can say now that will probably get me into a lawsuit with them. Because at this point I have no idea, because they have put so much patent, so much lawsuits, so much legal garbage into what they're doing, that I don't even know just saying their name at this point is going to get me hit, because literally I'm just talking about it. So if you hear me, so basically I came up with the system where I'm going to talk about it in my own way, which you already know. I'm going to call them ninten. I'm going to say Red Plumber, because that's the mascot. And I'm going to say Pickles. Picklesman. Pickles. Yeah, I'll just call it Pickles, because that's their main, because they are currently still fighting Power World. Yeah. Anyway, doesn't matter. Yes, and I'm just, because at this point I have no idea what I can say now, because of this company, which makes me sad, because they're the ones who got me into gaming, and I'm sad that they are going to do this. I mean, if you want my sources, I will leave links to Yong's video down below if you need it. But holy effing Christ, is everything getting out of control with this company. Literally, for, like I said, 3 months, almost 3 months of me being absent, and it's just getting out of control. What is going on here? And we only got like a few more weeks before Nintendo decides to roll out the next Switch thing, which I can say, because that word is still available for public use at this point, until Nintendo decides to freaking pan that word. But wait, did he pan it? I have no idea. Here it is, Switchblade. It's the Switchblade. How about that? How about that? I'll call it the Switchblade. How about that one? Yeah, the Switchblade, and it's a dose. It is. Oh my god. Which I'm gonna tell you this now. I'm no longer paying for it. I'm no longer buying their. I mean, it's already bad, but I'm no longer buying their stuff. I mean, because one, they don't do sales, which is horrible, and two, I'm gonna pay for old gen. I'm gonna pay for the Switchblade 1 version, and then I'll pay for that stuff on those things. If they think I'm paying for the sequel, heck no, I'm not. No, they can keep those ones. I'm playing the first one. But the problem is, I might not be able to, because of how they are. Not only that, the fact that thanks to them, every other company is starting to increase their prices. Thankfully, thankfully, some of them haven't. Some smaller companies are like going back to 50, to base 50, the lower grade. But my God, some of these are already going up to 80. I mean, the Xbox is going up to 80 right now, and I'm waiting on Sony to announce that they're going to go up on 80 as well, which is getting so, which people are scared of right now, because it's only a matter of time. We're all wondering when Sony's going to announce it, and when they do, dear God, that's it. I'm waiting for sales. I'm not about to pay like $80-$90 for this effing BS. I'm waiting for sales. I don't care how many months I have to wait. I don't care if the new game comes out and everyone's playing it. I am not paying $80 to freaking $90 because somebody was already at my limit any farther and we're getting problems. I'm waiting for a sale and then playing those games then. Like I said, any game that comes out, the 80-90, they are waiting for sales. I'm going for sales in this situation. The heck with everything else. And which is why I say that which I'm going to say is that I'm done. I'm never going to support Nintendo ever again, because they are the worst. They're Two-Face incarnate. Yes, they're Two-Face, except they don't toss up a coin up in the air. They just decide, go evil all the time. I mean, literally, it is insane. If you don't know, they raise the prices of the games. They raise the price of the games. They raise the price of costs. They raise the prices of every single thing. And dear Lord, unfortunately, when the Switchblade 2 came out, Part 2, how about that? Switchblade Part 2 came out. Literally, basically it all got people pre-ordered that. Now I don't know how many of them are scalpers, which at this point I'm hoping it was just scalpers because that way nobody's gonna be paying for the BS. As but even still, if oh either way, it's sad and now it's going the price is gonna be raised and it's sad. It is terribly sad. Either way, Nintendo. I'm right now. I'm no longer supporting them. It is sad for me because I literally had the Super Nintendo when I was little. I literally had the N64 number still public, unless unless they say it is, and then I'll just call it the 69 now. Either way, I had that one, and basically they were the ones that got me into gaming. I don't think I would be the gamer I am today without them. But now I'm saying that I will no longer support them and play any of their games anymore. I'm literally saying that right now. I'll play the Switchblade Part 1 and play any old games on that, but unless they change the prices on those as well and make those to 8090, which is BS, until then, yeah, I'm playing the first one if I ever get that, and that's it. But what's also bad at how much legal garbage Nintendo has brought onto the table, just to make sure that they have it their way, which have a way, and which is to brick your console. First, it was the prices. Now they want to control your console, and to the point where they can brick it anytime they freaking want because you don't follow their freaking rules, and they can take legal action if necessary. Which also, what's problematic is that they even said that in their freaking thing, they said this in their freaking whatever it is, this garbage, says that you no longer own the thing, you are renting it. Which means now if you buy a freaking the Switchblade 2 and any Switchblade 2 and anything after that, you are licensing it from them. You're renting it until they decide to brick it. What in the name of everything is going on? What is happening? Man, if they want to do that, they can do that, and they can do that over there in their freaking soil. But over here in the U.S., I bet your butt dude, that may be legal action, but the problem is that we're starting to get to the point. Finally, the legalese is finally starting to get to the point where you cannot discontinue an item that somebody's bought. But like, I think California finally put in the paper, like, hey, you cannot put that on here. If they bought it, they are owning it. You cannot do that. You cannot get rid of their items, which is a small step, but hopefully will spread further. So if this happens over here, it is going to cause problems because now they gotta deal with basically people living in the California who are started, and if they start seeing their consoles brick, that is gonna cause some problems, and then it's gonna get into legislation. Trust me, it will happen one way or another, and Nintendo is gonna have to deal with this, and they can fight it. But in the states of the U.S., we will fight back. You are not taking away my freaking stuff, man. Oh my freaking god! Seriously, I don't know what Nintendo is thinking here. But if they want to get rid of piracy, then just get emulators up there. Let emulators happen, but they don't because they're greedy idiots over there. And yes, I'm going to say it. And hey, they're greedy idiots. And like I said, they're greedy idiots. Also, I said N64, but of course, N is by itself, and 64 is a number. Just to let anyone know, I didn't say the full name, so basically, just in case anyone wondering, I said N64. Both of them are still available unless they decide to patent us for some reason. But either way, back on the topic, there's no way because basically they would have to fight on the U.S. soil because there's no way they're gonna let this happen. There's no way anyone that lives in the U.S. is gonna be all right with that because all of a sudden they could be playing the game, all of a sudden do something wrong, and then all of a sudden the next day or the next hour their console's bricked, and now they can just put cement on it and put it on the wall. I mean, it is insane. And anyone who supports this and defends this, you are so brainwashed and idiotic. Do you have no sense of basic brain cells left? And Nintendo is just basically just using your skull as as an F can right now. They're basically just freaking thrusting right into your skull making sure that you know, yes, feel that? Yes, feel that. That's what's freaking effing you right in the skull right now. That is literally what's happening. Nintendo maybe is like Two-Face. It's like a two-sided sword, but it's more basically evil in that side than good. They do good things, like the president does cut his paycheck whenever something happens, like they fail and they cut their paychecks to make sure that the game employees don't like lose jobs. But they also have so many bad things that literally at this point I don't even know what's happening. They're like literally two sides of the same coin, and my god, it's so bad on the other side. They're literally doing whatever it takes to make sure they are the top dog. My god, it is so insane. I mean, literally, they want to send the lawyers. They can send the lawyers over in the U.S. on the fact of the bricking situation. Actually, send them to the freaking California, because right now we've already basically won the thing where you cannot. Actually, technically speaking, Ninten can't even brick anyone in California right now, because if I remember, the government, I think, over there has literally put in, I think, in the law that you cannot take away someone's stuff here. You cannot take someone's bought items here. As far as I can't remember the legislation, but that is a good way we started off. But yeah, they cannot brick the console without getting rid of the games, which means they literally have to do a legal battle to defend the fact that they're breaking the console. But how they're gonna break the console? Well, they can't, which also go against the other thing, which is to break. You can't get rid of the game. So which means if they break the console, that means they're taking away the games on that console. Which means the person cannot get to play those games until they buy a new console and stuff. Actually, now that I think about it, they said that if you signed up to the program, does that mean you're banned from buying another console? Is that what I'm seeing? Is that what's happening now? Like, if they have your profile on the game store or console, does that mean that if you try to buy another one and you try to sign in, does that mean you can no longer buy another Nintendo console? Because if that is the case, then that is such an evil that is so evil and greedy beyond belief. What's more, like I said before, let's go back to the game thing. Like, if they try to break a console and prevent you from playing any more games, that goes against the law that they put out that you cannot take away someone's bought items. So in reality, they will have they either have to spend so much money just to defend the fact that yes, we can. They signed the license agreement, so we can get rid of them because they don't want their license. Yes, but you can't get rid of the console. But you got games on it that they bought with their own money. Which means if you are planning to get rid of this console, that means you're getting rid of the games that they bought for. They may have licensed it, but they still bought it, and you're planning to make sure they never play your console again. Which means it goes directly against you cannot get rid of their games. So Nintendo has to figure out how to get past that. Which I highly doubt they will. In fact, it would probably be the biggest thing ever in the gaming industry, because then it'd be just like two sides fighting it out because which one's right. We got the corporate greed of Nintendo trying to prove that basically breaking console that is in their right and getting rid of the games is in their rights. Well, over here, basically, it's going to be, no, you can't. You're breaking the console, but you're getting rid of the games they own. They own these games, so if you get rid of the console and don't let them buy another one and play them, then you're basically getting rid of the console. And even then, even if they say, oh yeah, we'll let them play another console, that's still forcing. That also goes on another legal action, because that's extortion now. Because if you think about it, if they get rid of your console, they get rid of your games. So if you want to play your games again, you would have to go buy an entirely different console just to sign up, unless they ban you from playing any Nintendo games ever again. Then at that point, it's basically extortion. If I got that right. Think on that. Literally, think on that. Because I don't know if that's true or not. Because, dear freaking God, if that is true, that means Nintendo is trying its best to make sure to get as much money out of you as possible. And like I said, California may be our only hope to stop this if they decide to start breaking the console over there. Because like I said before, now I don't know the legalese, I may be entirely wrong about this, but like I said before, legislation passed that you cannot get rid of the products that the person is paid for. Nintendo's has to defend the fact that, yes, but it's our console, so we can do what the freak we want, including the games. They're going to have to defend the fact that how games on the console is literally our right to turn off whenever we want. Which, like I said, goes directly against them. Like I said, they may have signed the paper, but the problem is that it goes against the fact that, yeah, but they bought their game. They bought their stuff. They own that stuff. So they own it with their own money. Just because you rented them or paid for them doesn't give you the right to get rid of them. Basically, like I said, Ninten and the California has to freaking start fighting each other. Like I said, this goes to the point of extortion because, like I said, I don't know how their profile system works, but if they ban you from using the console again, and the only way, and they decide to ban you from basically playing any other game console ever again, that's basically stealing at that point. They're basically stealing the games. And also, if they decide, yeah, you can play these games, but you have to buy an entirely new console just so you can play these games, which is extortion as far as I know. I don't know how the legalese is. But in the end, this is all going to be a battle whether or not who wins. And if Nintendo wins, it's going to cause havoc. And if California wins, it would be a major win. And Nintendo will have to find a way to basically find a way to roll this back. Or stand guard and just, okay, we're just going to let you do it, but we're going to do it with everything else. Like, it's going to be insane. Now, that's just me saying it. And I don't know if that's going to happen. I have no idea if that's going to happen. I'm not a legal person here, so don't take my legal advice because I'm not not infinite legalese. But either way, by the time this happens, something is going to happen. Like I said, I don't know how this works. Nintendo says that you're licensing their stuff, but over here, we already got one state on the board on that, and I'm hoping other states do that because I literally do not want to live in a place where basically a company can literally come over this. I mean, think about this. If a company decides to go to your house, says that you have a TV they own, like you bought it from their store, and they decide to come over to the house, we heard that you did some modification, we heard you did something to the TV. Like, for example, you got the warranty, so we're here to tell you that since you violated the warranty, we're going to take that TV back for us. We're going to take that TV out of your possession because you did something to it. Imagine if that happened. Seriously, imagine if that happened. It's literally comparable to that. Nintendo is literally bricking your console, saying they're literally sending people to your house to brick your console. Literally. It's literally like seriously, imagine that. If you do something in your house that's not okay with a company, and you own that item, they can come over to your house and just, you're doing something with this, we're going to make sure that you cannot use it again. We're going to take it away with us, or they're going to like electronically break it. And if you try to fix it, we're going to sue you for going against us or something. Literally, think on that. It is literally so messed up. It is literally compared to that. It is literally idiotic. I mean, seriously, I don't know what Nintendo's doing. I don't know what they're trying to do. But this is getting to the point where, okay, it's just getting rid of my freedoms here. This is literally, if they want to do this, they can do it on their side of the pond. They can do it on their side of the ocean. But once you start going in the U.S., you better be ready that some people have gotten tired of this. And if you're defending this, you have lost your dang mind. So if you, if you do, and if that breaks your console, I don't want to hear you talking about how this game, how your freaking console, how it's not fair when you are the one defending it. You are defending this, and if you ending this. And if you decide that this is a problem, then finally, thank you for joining us. But that just means that you're an idiot, and you literally could have stopped this before this happened. You could have joined us in the beginning and helped us push this back. But instead, you decided to defend him, and now you're paying the consequences. And the only way you're gonna justify you basically defending it is that if you find a way, is if you basically continue to just let Nintendo basically keep slamming their freaking schlong right into your freaking brain. That's the only way. Because they're trying to mind control you. I hope Nintendo's followers basically finally wake up to this before this gets out of hand. But at this point, I don't know how brainwashed they are. So either way, I don't know. Let me know. And that's about it. I have nothing else to say. That is my freaking rant about freaking what's happening and the potential devastation they could be having on the game industry. They've already done devastation already. anymore, and it's going to get to the point where you can't even own a freaking console. Where you can't, like, it's going to get to the point where you can't even, like, go to a freaking store, buy an item, buy some sort of item, and then the cashier say, okay, we're going to put you on this just to let you know that if we find out you're doing anything with this, we will come to your house and we will take it away from you. Alright? It's going to get to the point where you can't even do anything. Literally. I mean, seriously. It's not, like I said, like, imagine you freaking go to a store, you buy, like, a bicycle, you're going to freaking buy a bicycle, and they say, okay, just let you know that we're going to make sure, if you want to repair it, you got to come directly to us. Don't repair it yourself. Even if you have the skills, don't repair it. If we find out you repaired your bike, we will come over to your house and we will take it away from you. Alright? Because you have no right to fix it without our permission. Imagine that. You can't even buy something. You can't even buy a bicycle. You can't buy a lawnmower. You can't buy something in the store without someone saying, no, you can only do it with us. Unless we give you permission, you can't do anything with it. I mean, I own the product. I have the right to do what the freak I want. If I want to break it intentionally, I have the right to do that. Which I don't think they give an F about that. Like, if I want to modify it or change it or use it for spare parts to fix something else, I have the right to do that. I shouldn't have to be told that, literally, no, you cannot do this. You do this, we will take it away from you, and we will sue you for doing anything. That's basically the future that's basically hoping for. That you can't do anything to stop them, and they can do what the frick they want. It will only be a matter of time before thinks they can send someone to your house and take the bricked console away from you. And say, yes, we heard your brick console is bricked, so we're here to take it away from you because we don't want you to modify it further. Like, try to bring it back or modify it so you can go back online. Imagine that if you're basically a hacker and they brick your console and you decide to basically try to rehack it to basically be able to play it. And they imagine having them go send their lawyers at you or send someone over to your house to take it away from you. This is basically the future it wants. I mean, Ninten wants. Nintendo. I said Nintendo. This is what Nintendo wants. Yes. If you heard any freaking bleeping out there, that's because I said that. But like Nintendo, this is the future that Nintendo wants. This is what Ninten wants. This is what literally Ninten wants. To basically be able to do this. Alright. Yeah, that's my freaking rant right here. That's my news today. If you want to know anything, like, watch Young Yes video. I will leave the links below so you guys can watch it for yourself. It is insane. It is idiotic. And I am absolutely pissed the fact that this is what Nintendo's doing. Alright, that's about it. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Comment, subscribe down below if you enjoyed it. I don't know if you can at this point. I'm pissed about it. And also, if you're a person that's defending this, yeah, keep commenting. I want you to out yourselves so people know who you are. Alright? Now, don't say any hate to the other people. They don't deserve the hate. They're just, unfortunately, brainwashed. Just make sure you look at them and just, okay, this is the person I don't want to deal with. Got it. Just that's it. Just it. Don't just go send hate, alright? I gotta say those most of the time in my videos because I keep forgetting to say that. Either way, that's about it. Let me know in the comments if you basically supporting this for some reason. Let me know if you're against this. Hopefully you are. And let me know what you think about the future if this gets out of control. And hopefully, that literally, if this ever goes into court, that hopefully, that it's a big win for us. Because I do not want to see a future where I'm going to open my door, hear a knock on my door, and see someone say, hey, we're from Ninten, and we're here to take away your console because it's bricked, and we don't want you modifying it. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah. But either way, hope you enjoyed this video. And right now, my dark minions, dismissed.